Coming up, a question from you. What do you do if you're driving along and your steering just locks without warning? I'm John Cadogan from AutoExpert.com.au and I get new cars cheap. Australia only. Website. Card. Now, I've got this question from a dude named John Albanus, whose niece is driving along and steering just locks without warning. We'll get into that in just a sec, but first, this video is sponsored by OLIGHT. There's a sale on right now, which ends Thursday, the 29th of September at midnight. Discounts up to 50% until then. Some of the highlights now. The all-new Audience is the perfect workshop, camping and in-vehicle roadside repair light. Marauder 2 is a powerhouse, packing 14,000 lumens with flood mode and spot mode for search. O-Lantern Classic 2 Pro, which is great for camping and also dead handy around the backyard barbecue. Baton 3 Pro, compact and affordable for everyday carry, but with a 1500 lumen punch when you crank it right up. Perrin 2, the right-angle flashlight that morphs seamlessly into a powerful head torch using the included elastic headband rig. And lastly, two new O-knives, the Robato, a Tanto-style 154 chrome moly blade with a rail lock, and the tiny but useful Mini Drever with N690 stainless steel sheepsfoot blade. Both blades roughly 58 Rockwell C hardness, they're titanium coated, and the knives feature grippy G10 scales. There's a link in the description, plus a code for 12% off outside the sale. I use an OLIGHT Warrior Mini 2 every day, and it has been totally dependable. Anyway, significant savings right across the OLIGHT range right now, if you're interested. Now that we've seen the light, I think we should hear from John Albanus, who is, well, I have very low standards, but I would let him into Club Us, basically. John's heart is in the right place here too, and he says, I've been asked a question by my niece about her experience with her Hyundai that had me tossed, notwithstanding that I advised her not to drive it and get it to a Hyundai dealer forthwith. Sounds serious, doesn't it? The reason she asked me is that I have been playing with motor cars longer than you have, but not for a living. I feel your pain, dude. That's a long time. Jesus. Her Highlander would have been helpful if you told me what the model of car was, but Tucson, Santa Fe, got to be something like that, is nearing 200,000 kilometres of freeway driving and serviced as per book. It's always nice to get it done as per book. Now, 200,000 Ks is a long way though, dude. It's like 5 laps of the planet, and there's no road around it outside, obviously, but it's a long way. The risk of major failures, I mean, we just keep loading up more chambers and playing Russian roulette the longer you drive, right? The issue is loss of steering whilst driving. That sounds pretty scary, actually. Her words, steering locked without warning. Now, I'm just going to pause there and say this is almost certainly not the case, because if it were, that would be unthinkable. Steering systems do not just lock in an uncommanded way when the engine is running. There are interlocks that prevent that from happening, and the instances of that happening, you could count them on one hand out on the road, I'm sure. I have heard of it happening occasionally. There was one really memorable case that was also utterly tragic when a young bloke was driving and the price of fuel was like, we're having one of those price of fuel things just after the global financial crisis, and he was turning the engine off manually downhill on country roads and letting gravity do the work. And in his mind, he was saving money, doubtless. But what actually happened was he made a little mistake and he basically backed the key off one click too far, and then cognitive overload fucked him, basically. The steering locked, he couldn't figure it out, he's on a windy road, he went off the road, and he was doubtless battling with the lock, right? And he went off the road and it killed him. And I think for what? To save 30 cents or something on petrol, right? It's ridiculous. But I understand how people can get themselves into these horrible predicaments. It happens to pilots all the time too, when the door comes open on takeoff and they worry about that instead of flying the friggin' aircraft, okay? It's just one of those cognitive brain space things, and when the stress is on you and you've got this problem, it's really hard to be logical and go back down the fault-finding tree, okay? The way the steering lock works in a car with a proximity key, which this one has, is just when you lock the car, there's a whole bunch of presets that just activate. And if someone were to smash a window and grab the wheel, it would just go, and a pin would go through some little dog clutchy kind of mechanism and stop the steering from moving. It's just an electromechanical thing, I guess, but they're designed not to fail, like they're fail-safe. So if they do fail, the steering doesn't lock, okay? That's how they work. John goes on and says, this happened whilst driving in Melbourne's wet weather. Unfortunately, during relatively slow traffic, the local dealer was not all that perturbed. That's just how dealers roll, isn't it? Like, the world ends for you, and you ring the dealer and he goes, the world ended again, did it? We can't see you until next Thursday, buddy. Like, they just have that conversation all the time with people who are very stressed about some major problem with their car, and they get completely insulated from it. It's like, that's your problem, dude. We can see you next week. The local dealer, not all that perturbed, and advised her to book it in for a service, and they'll look into it in due course. John says, as I have no idea how the steering locks because there's no physical key, and whether it has a hydraulic/electric power-assisted steering system, hence the advice to take it to a Hyundai dealer who's familiar with the vehicle. It's almost certainly that motor-driven power steering, like electrically assisted. It's essentially a servo motor that's either on the steering rack or on the steering column, and it just responds to a whole bunch of inputs that are, speed and yaw rate and steering angle and effort and things of that nature, and the servo motor just gives you a bit of assistance. Now, what I think happened to the niece is she's driving along and there's some gremlin because, 200,000 Ks, second law of thermodynamics, you really are loading up the chambers and playing Russian roulette. The further you drive, the more chambers, the more often you are testing your Russian roulette sort of race against entropy kind of thing. There's just something's going to go wrong, and it sounds like the steering assistance failed. And at low speed, that would feel significantly heavy. It would feel like, oh, gee, you're trying to turn the wheel and all of a sudden nothing, when just a few seconds ago it was effortless. But I don't think the steering was locked. I just think it got really, really heavy because some gremlin infected the assistance system. And this is something that the dealer should be able to track down. Now, John goes on and says, are you familiar of any other case? No, I'm not familiar of any other case, John. How should she deal with Hyundai? Well, she should just say what happened and get them to give the steering a full-on once-over, and she should say, I want to rule out a worst-case scenario where I'm driving along and the steering just locks without warning, because that's what it felt like. And the guy in the service department will be thinking, yeah, the assistance system just failed intermittently. So they'll try and track that down if they can. John goes on and says, personally, whilst it is out of warranty, warranty should not come into the equation for such a defect. Well, dude, I agree that it's a potentially serious defect and you would want to get to the bottom of it, but you have to say to yourself, 200,000 kilometres, I mean, major failures happen, and there is a point beyond which you have to pay for that. And 200,000 Ks is pretty much that point. I'd say that 160,000 is pretty much that point. 10 years, 160,000 Ks. Then some sort of mechanical failure. Dude, that's on you. Anywho, John goes, best regards, John Albanus. P.S. Should you wish to speak to my niece, her number is blah, blah, blah. I don't think we need to know that publicly. P.S. Love your show, including language, as I'm also an engineer. Oh, that explains it. We engineers all have to get a profanity certificate before they'll license us. John goes, albeit civil. Well, Sorry to hear that. How can you be a civil profane engineer? Anyway, and I call a spade also. P.S. Please acknowledge receipt. Receipt acknowledged, dude. So, do let me know what happens with this steering. Let me know if I'm right, but even more importantly, let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if the steering did fail. And I don't know if you can hear that, but the world is either ending or there's been a thunderstorm over Sydney for about 4 hours now, and I'm sick of waiting. I just had to plug in again and do this because otherwise life's got no friggin' meaning, does it? Anyway, I hope this helps John. I hope it can help you. If you've got a better idea for John or for me, please leave it in the comments below. I'd like to know what you think on that. And I will catch you on the next one.